Can y'all hear me? Yeah! I just want to say something real quick. You know, I've been fighting this kind of stuff since I was a young person, and I always felt like I didn't have many grown-ups that had my back. And I look around, and I'm going to say something right now. From the bottom of my heart, I consider all of you civil rights heroes. You see, the tactics they used on all of you, they used on people like us when we were alone. They tried to stigmatize you, they tried to use violence, and when you stood up to the violence that they inflicted on Kenneth Gladney, you took them a step back. And Barry says, unclench your fist. Well, I'll say, hey Barry, why don't you unclench your fist on the private sector and all these hardworking people? And on that note, I want to say that, you know, this is a nonpartisan movement, but at the same time, I want to give the Republican leadership credit for going into that so-called summit and telling him to stick it where the sun don't shine. And let me tell you, the reason why they did that, was because of all of you. And we've been calling for 6 months. Say, hey, before you talk about any policies, Republicans, tell them that the strength of this nation is in the people. And it's the people who saved this country from the Great Depression, not that stupid, porculous, stimulus, whatever it's like. And we always say that they seem to have a problem with wealth. And the problem is that the greatest wealth isn't measured by GDP. The greatest wealth is measured in the conservative mothers. You know, you have Michelle Moore, Gina Loudon, Dana, Sarah Palin. That's what they fear. And hold up a second. It says the stimulus package did not work. I just have a problem with this whole notion that, well, we saved your jobs. I think it's... Right now, the CBO said it was about $826 billion. When you add that up, it's about $431,000 a job. How many of you make $431,000 a year? And hey, but wait a minute. Of those of you that make $500,000 a year, more power to you. Enemies. Lenin, the Nazis, the British a long time ago. Since when did Americans who were successful become the enemy? You know, this man, I counted, and I don't watch TV all the time, and I have a little board. Every time Obama says, the rich are the problem, the rich are the problem, I've counted 234 times. And that's just in the few times I watch it, because every time I see him, I want to turn him off. Okay?
Send him home! Send him home!
He paints the picture of the rich as some fat cat CEO. What about the pipe fitter? What about the plumber? What about the lumber? Or the mover like me that saved his money and sacrificed instead of going out and spending a bunch of money on whatever and saying, oh, where's my health care? They save and work 80 hours a week. They deserve their $1 million. Stop demonizing them. And just to wrap it up, I want to say that everything that's happening right now, we all have our different ways. There are going to be some people who are going to want to vote for this. We're not a party. We're a movement. We're a family. And sometimes families have disagreements. But in the end, we all have to love each other. Now, some of us might like one talk show host over another. Some of us might like one candidate over another. You know, but the bottom line is we're driving and forcing all of them. Not just the Democrats are opposing this, but the Republicans are being a lot tougher than they would have been if it wasn't for you. So I just want to thank all of you, and stay strong. We got a long way to go. Thank you, Jay Stewart.
A little hard to follow, ain't it? Got the guy that started all this crap. FDR. That's right.
All right, well, I'd like to introduce now Jim Hoff, the Gateway Pundit. Hello, St. Louis! Everybody fired up today? A year ago today, many of you came out in the cold and the wind on a Friday afternoon and joined hundreds of others in the first St. Louis Tea Party rally. You were not alone. Also, last year on this same day, hundreds and thousands of patriotic Americans joined together in Chicago, Illinois, Washington, D.C., Oklahoma City, Los Angeles, Atlanta, Wichita, Nashville, Tulsa, Tucson, San Diego, Portland, Shelby, Alabama, Lansing, Michigan, Cleveland, Tampa, Austin, Hartford, and Orlando. You came out to protest this irresponsible decisions being made by this government. You came out to protest the dangerous spending being pushed by the radicals in Washington, D.C. You came out because you still have your freedom, and you were not alone. For years, you were silent. You went to work, you went to church, you raised your kids, you took them to ball games, you celebrated holidays with your family and friends. You supported your country during good times, during tragedy, and even during war. You worked for your prosperity, and you loved your freedom and your country. But last year, something changed. You saw the radicals in Washington triple the national deficit in 1 year. You saw the radicals try to spend their way out of a recession. They're still trying to spend their way out of a recession. You saw record debt. You saw record spending. You saw a disaster on the road ahead. You were frightened for yourself, for your friends, for your family, for your children, and for your country. And you came out to protest. Many of you for the first time ever, and I congratulate you. And you were not alone. And this is what happened. You shocked the system. You shocked the state-run media. You shocked the Democratic media complex, and they were angry. They called you mobsters. They called little old lady with signs Nazis. They called you racist. They called you crazy. They wanted you to be silent. My message for you today is for you to understand that you are not alone. These selfish radicals are the minority, not you. These selfish radicals may lie about the numbers here today. They may lie about the numbers we had back in April. They may lie about the thousands and hundreds of thousands of people who marched in Washington, D.C. last year. They want you to feel outnumbered. But this was not and is not true. You are the majority. These radicals don't like to be challenged. They want you to be silent. My message for you today is that you are not alone. I stand with you, and hundreds of people here today will stand with you in standing up for what's right. And we're not going to back